Hello, ladies. I had, I think there's probably a lot of questions out there. It seems like we have quite a few ladies who are wanting to start out using Sonlet and they're unsure on what to do. So this is going to be a video strictly on putting inventory in and what to do when you're putting that inventory in. Okay, so this is the home screen for Sonlet. What I'm going to do is go to inventory, and I use LuLaRoe, and that is an app that you can put on your iPhone or Android. And when you take your photos, it will automatically, you can set the settings so that it will automatically upload those pictures to Dropbox and to Sonlet. So what you see here are items that I have already loaded to inventory in Sonlet. And it helps me determine the differences between inventory and listings as two different holding spots. Inventory is going to be anything that you are uploading that is not listed for sale, not available to put out there for sale. Anything that is in listings is going to be items that are ready to sell and that you can upload to multis in albums. You can put them in Sonlet parties. Anything that's ready to go, boom, you're ready to put it out there for sale. So we're going to cover the inventory. So I'm going to add a piece of inventory. Now, before I do that, if you are uploading from LuLaRoe, Sonlet will automatically put these items in just like this. So if I had just taken an Amelia 3X picture, this is what it would look like. It's going to automatically put it in the style and the size. So what this is the size and how many I have of that size in my inventory, or how many pictures I have for that size right now in inventory. And what these are over here are items that I have listed for sale. So I have 34 Amelias that are listed for sale, and I have 9 that have sold. That's what these numbers are. So this is a picture that I have taken with LuLaRoe, and it has automatically put it into this Amelia style. So if I click on it, it brings it up in this area. So it has already brought over the picture. It's put it into the size based on what I put in here, which is the LuLaRoe picture. It gives you the purchase date. Now, the purchase date is going to be based on when you took the picture, not on when you actually purchased it. The wholesale prices and the retail prices and the estimated profit, those numbers are automatically programmed in by the developer. So you shouldn't have to mess with these unless something, unless you want prices to show differently. Say that you're wanting the retail to be the higher end or the lower end from whatever's in here, then you would want to change those. These arrows right here, these are to sort anything that you have listed in inventory. So let me go back to the main inventory and I can show you that. So like I have 5 extra large Carlys listed here. If I click on that, it's going to bring them all up here. And if I want to see them based on the purchase date, I will click these arrows. Now these are toggle switches. So what this has done is, now this isn't a good example because they're all the same date, but if they were different dates, it's going to sort either ascending or descending based on what those arrows are set at. Okay. So you can sort on anything that has arrows next to it. So let's say I bring up all these outfits. Okay. They have different purchase dates, so I can sort based on the purchase date. And again, it's a toggle switch. So it's either ascending, like this is right now, or descending. Okay. If I wanted to sort by size, I click on the arrows. It's going to sort the mediums first and the larges last. If I click on it again, it's going to sort the other way. Okay. So any item, any category that has those arrows, you can search by. Okay. So let's go back to the Amelia because that will be an easy one to do. So LuLaRoe is going to bring this in just like this. Okay. And then what you want to do from here is you want to go in and add what we call attributes. So you click on this more and you go to edit. Now you can also, there is another way to do that, and that is to click on the box, or actually anywhere in here is another toggle. It's either blue, it's either selected in blue, or it's unselected in white. Okay, so you don't have to necessarily click in this box. So I want to edit. I can either do it through here, or you can do it up here. So in this case, I'm going to add an attribute. Now, what are attributes? Attributes are typically anything that you may want to sort your inventory, or your listings rather, by that attribute. So, for example, say this was an elegant and I was putting in all my elegant pieces, and I want to be able to, a lot of the multis, for example, have an album or albums by style for elegant. I want to be able to sort out of this 1694 of my inventory. I want to pull out all of the elegants. I will then want to make sure I put an attribute on here so that I can actually search for those and pull them out, so that I'm only uploading those items. Okay, so what attributes are kind of like filters. They're going to allow you to be able to pull out of your main listings anything that you put in that attribute. So, for example, if I make this a capsule of elegant, and this is a free text box, so you can type anything in here you want. I have already typed in before on an item elegant, so that will it will remember anything that you typically type in here and bring it up in a download dialog box. Excuse me. So any attributes that I put in for capsule have been saved here. So, for example, when I got my villains for Disney, I put them in a capsule by themselves for villains. Same thing with Valentine's. With Nor, if I wanted to be able to pull out just my black items, I'd put them in a capsule for Nor. Nightmare Before Christmas, Disney Princesses, Elegant, Frozen, whatever. So say this was an elegant Amelia, and I want to put it in a capsule elegant. You can also put them in a collection, which is kind of the same idea. And again, this is a free text box, so you can make these anything you want. Say that they're kind of intermingled, actually. Say that this was say it was a black Amelia within the Americana. Now, I know typically that's not going to happen, but say that did happen. That's when I would use both of these attributes. Okay. So all of my Americana I have set with either a capsule of Americana or I have a collection of Americana. Okay. You can also add, this is actually free text. So you can make up any kind of attribute that you want to be able to search on later. There's a color. You can put in that this is purple and pink. Okay. So what that means is I can later search within these listings and just pull out the purple items. Or if this was red, I could just pull out the red items. So like on the theme days that we're doing in the collective in My Way, if I want to just pull out, I think we did a red items for Valentine's, I could do that if I had put an attribute for color on my items, okay? I also have the ones that I normally do on every single piece that I put into inventory. If I can do the fabric, I will, especially like on the Cassies, I'll put in Liverpool because I find that a lot of times customers want to know what kind of fabric it is. If it's 100% rayon, you can type that in. If it's a cotton modal and spandex, you can put that in. And what that will do is you won't have to necessarily go and pull that item and look on the tag. You actually already have it listed in Sonlet, so all you got to do is look at your Sonlet item. You can give it an ID. So any of the, if you're putting numbers like on your tags that you use for your live sales, you can put that ID in here. So like would be a inventory number per se, okay? You can put in, another one that I normally do is pattern. Say that this actually is floral. So I will put floral. I want to be able to pull out any floral items. If somebody's looking for an ISO for floral items, I can later go do a search for floral items and pull that out. I have a pattern and a solid. I can make this a print. Print and solid. I could select solid if it's an all solid, if it's a solid piece, then I can pull out all my solids. So these are pretty much, typically think of these as kind of filters that you can put on your items. And you want to do this as you're loading your inventory. The styles, I put what the style is. So in this case, it's an Amelia. And the type, I put a dress. If I want to be able to pull all the dresses, I could do that. And then I put the year on it. So if I wanted to pull like any of the elegance for 2016, I could search for that 2016 and that's what it would pull. So those are the attributes that you can put on. And again, you can make any attribute that you want. These are totally customizable in both fields. And you can also override the prices if you want. I typically don't mess with these because I usually use either what the map is or what the regular wholesale price is. But you can overwrite them if you want. So, and then you save, of course. And then what it will do is it will save those attributes. So let me find one that I've done already. Here, let's just do this one while we're here, because I put some funky stuff on that other one. So this one I would put, no, it's not in a particular capsule or collection. I'm going to put the color is gray. Whoops, I put some of these in here already. So you got to make sure that I just put a space so it didn't bring up the other colors. If I knew what the fabric was, let's say it's 100% cotton. This has dots, so I'm going to put dots. It is, I'm going to put as a solid because to me this is pretty much a solid, even though it's got microscopic dots on it. The style is going to be perfect tee. A type is going to be a top. And then the year I bought it, just so you can see what kind of age your inventory is 2017. Now, I would also, and I found this, the more that I use it, I put in the colors in the description. And what that does is when you list these items in albums in a multi, anything that you've put in this description, it's going to put in the description for this picture. So I found this especially helpful with anything that is like navy blue or black. I will put in navy blue here, or I'll put in black. And that's going to show up in the description for this picture. So when a customer sees this, Once they read the description, they're not going to have to ask me what color it is. Even if the picture comes out, you know, off color a little bit, they're going to know if I put black that it's actually black and not navy blue. Okay. And I found this out the hard way actually, because I was not initially putting any descriptions on my items, but I found that it's very helpful to do that. You could also put the fabric in here if you wanted, so that that printed out on any of your descriptions for your pictures, so that people, those are the two most common questions that I get, are what color is the item and what kind of fabric is it. So I'm going to change this because I don't know exactly what I'm going to actually, the X is a delete button. It'll actually take that attribute right out of there. And then of course your purchase date is typically whatever date you uploaded it. You can change that to your actual purchase date if you want to, or you can just leave it. Totally up to you. And again, this wholesale price indicates the 5% that you would get with your retailer card. And this is typically what the map is. And then I'm going to save it. Okay. So now when I look at this in inventory, you can see all the attributes that I've put on this item are right here. Okay. So it's ready to list. I'm going to select it. And I don't want to upload it to any group right now into Facebook. So I am going to list without posting to Facebook now. Now I could list it and post it directly to Facebook if I wanted to. I would just select which group, which the groups that are showing here are any groups that I'm an admin of. You have to be an admin of the group in order for the groups to show up here. And then I would select, these are the albums that are in this group that I have available. I would select the album that it would need to go into. And then these are messages that you can set up. And typically it'll put the first, whatever the message is here that's showing first is typically the most recent message that you've used. If you want to set these up, you can go hit this manage and it will take you in, and that's a whole nother video that I'll show you. So if I just want to copy this over, if I wanted to actually list it in an album, any time you see this icon, which is a copy icon, it's a clipboard with an arrow. It's going to typically say copied when you select it. You go to the box and you hit paste and it will pull that over for you. So you don't have to retype it every single time. Okay. So I'm going to take this out because I don't want it to, I'm actually not even going to load into an album right now. So it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to list without posting Facebook. So what that's going to do is it's going to move it from here and put it into listing. And if you recall what I said at the beginning of the video is your inventory are typically any items that you've uploaded pictures for that are not ready to sell yet. Once you move them from inventory to listings, then they're ready to sell. So this one is ready to go. I want to move it over to listings. So I'm going to list without posting to Facebook now. So I'm going to list it. It tells you that it successfully listed it. Now, if I click on listings and I go to manual and I go to Perfect T, and I think it was a small, it will typically be the first item that shows here. These are going to be listed in the order that they were uploaded. So the most recent items that you've uploaded and put into listings are going to show first, and then ones that you've uploaded prior to that are going to show afterwards. The items that you see here, any Facebook groups that you have pictures loaded into are going to show under Facebook posts. So in other words, this particular Perfect T is loaded right now into My Way and into my VIP group. Now, if you notice, this one has a red message here. And what that is the Facebook error. Sorry. That tells me that this didn't actually upload because what I got was a restriction error from Facebook that wouldn't allow that to upload. So what I need to do is another video as well, is go and pull this off of that group so that this is gone. But typically what shows in this box right here are what Facebook groups you have uploaded that item to, and then what Sonlet parties that you've put that into. So all of these listed right here are individual parties that I have this item listed in. And then, of course, it gives you the size here, the date that you posted into the listings, and then the tools here. And these are for another video as well. But anyway, that's just a short video to explain what the attributes are and how to use them. Once you have them in listings, you can use then the search box for any of those attributes that you have set up. Now, the search box is only going to apply to the items that you have listed down here. If you wanted to search all of your inventory, say for anything red, if you've put that attribute on items, you would click all, and what it's going to do is you're going to have to wait for it to load all of your items, and you'll see this hasn't loaded everything yet because there's only 9 entries. But this will change, and it will have everything pulled into here. And it usually takes a few minutes with as large an inventory as this is. Yeah, I can tell it's working by seeing this little circle right here. It's still working. Well, actually, you know what? You can't see that. I'm sorry. But in the tab of the browser, it's got the working circle. Okay, so now it resets the screen. So now you know that everything's loaded. So if I go to the bottom of the page, oh, come on. And right now I've got it set. I'd have to look, but I have it set to show so many items, and you can change that. Actually, it's still loading. So didn't think it loaded everything on the first page, but looks like it is. So I'm going to use this to go to the bottom. And it's still loading. And I can tell it's still loading because this is moving. And I think if I remember correctly, you can set how many this displays so that you don't have to necessarily wait for all of it to display on the first page. And it's still loading. Sorry, I didn't think it was going to take this long. We're in the L's. We're in the K's. Okay, this is going to take a while, so let me try and do something else here. Let's do all my leggings, all my tall and curvy leggings. We'll do that. That's got 93 items. And once it's got those 93 items loaded, it should reset the screen so that you know that it's done. And again, up in this tab, it's got the circle that's going around that tells you that it's working on it. And sometimes this is a Chrome. And the reason I use Chrome is another video, but you can use what they call a Chrome extension that's called Order Forward. And then you can do automatic invoicing to Bless from Chrome, but it has to be on desktop and it can't be with a, you can't use a mobile device with that. But it makes invoicing pretty seamless. And sometimes Chrome gets bogged down. It's still working. Okay, so I have my listing of tall and curvy leggings here, and I want to pull up any of the leggings that I have put attributes in that are red. So like you can see here, I don't have any attributes on this pair. This pair, I have all of these attributes listed. So actually, let's use the pattern hearts. So like this one has the pattern hearts. I want to bring up anything that has hearts with the attribute. So if I type in hearts here, you can see that it's now not listing all 93 leggings. It's only showing one pair that actually have the pattern hearts on it. So by adding this attribute to your inventory items, you can then pull out of all of your inventory. So in this case, I've got 1695 pieces. Out of all of those pieces, I've only got one item that I put the pattern hearts on. Now, if I wanted to, well, and that's again just for the tall and curvy leggings. I'm sorry, that's not all 1695. It's out of 93. So let's say I wanted to see any that had the attribute red. So I type in red here, and now it's showing two items that I've put the attribute red right here and right here. Okay, so those attributes that you've done back here in the inventory, you can now use as a filter. And if I wanted to do like the theme that we did for My Way, where it was just red items, I could list all of my items and then do a search for just the red items that I had this attribute on. And it would pull just those red items. And then from here, I could then upload it to the My Way and then to the particular album that I wanted it to go into. And you can do it, you can do one, whatever you've got selected is what's going to load into that album. Okay, so that's just a real quick, not real quick, it's 27 minutes, to show you what good these attributes do. And you can see here the different ones that I've done. I've got Valentine, I've got the different colors, I've got chevron on this one, print, the style is leggings, TC, and then the year. So those are just a couple of the examples of attributes that you can do. And again, these are customizable. So you can make whatever kind of attribute you want and put those on your inventory. And again, you want to do it on your inventory when you're pulling it in. It will save you time when you're ready to list things for sale and it's already done. And then you can just do the filters of what you want to show up. Okay.